Hello Scorpio, Scorpio rising and Scorpio moon people. This is your weekly, astrological and card horoscope for the week starting May 1st, 2017. And a quick reminder for you guys, if you ever do want to get a session, you do need to go to my website, integrativemysticism.com, where you can follow the links below. And I do have a little announcement. I've got new tarot cards I'm going to be working with. The oracle cards are still the same, but the tarot cards are new, so and they're really fun. It's the Everyday Witch guide, Everyday Witch's Guide, or Everyday Witch's Tarot. Sometimes different websites will list it as different things, but it's a really good deck if you want to check it out. And I'll be doing more of a thorough discussion about it on my vlog channel, Scarlet Moon Magic, all one word, if you didn't know that existed. So what's going on with your astrology this week? Well, as you may have guessed, Mercury is going direct this week. We talked about that in the monthly astrology horoscopes. And that's happening in Aries in your 6th house of work, reputation, your schedule. And once Mercury goes direct there, believe me, a lot of Scorpio, Scorpio rising, Scorpio moon people are going to be noticing easier opportunities and easier times at work when it comes to keeping your schedule. You know, I know lots of Scorpio people have been having hard times with, just even dealing with the everyday when it comes to going to the office. Something's always going off, people are doing things the wrong times, people not following directions. And luckily for you even, Mercury is going to be conjunct to Uranus later on this week in the 6th house of work and reputation, and you may be finding out that there's an opportunity for you to maybe even promote yourself, or even keep the new norm, or start pushing your own rules in ways that people are going to start following. If you need to change something, if you need to assert a boundary, if you need to start making some edicts, no more this, only this, all of those kinds of things. This is the type of time you want to feel that energy in. Because when you have, Mercury conjunct Uranus, it's sort of like we are tearing down the rules and the foundations that are setting us up to fail, and we're actually building up ones that are setting us up to succeed. We also have this week the Sun in your 7th house of partnerships, Taurus, forming a gorgeous connection to Neptune Thursday and Friday, in your 5th house of love and romance. And this is a gorgeous angle for those of you who are thinking about planning some kind of date, or maybe even trying to get things a little bit more out of the norm with your relationships. Maybe we're trying to broaden our horizons, maybe we're trying to connect on a deeper, more spiritual, artistic level. Maybe a lot of you and your partners are going to start to see a lot more of that deeper, sensitive side from a lover or from a crush that they don't tend to bring out into the everyday. But when the Sun sextiles Neptune, there is a certain element of vulnerability there, and you will be seeing a side of this person that is true to them, but you just haven't seen it yet, and it may actually confuse you a little bit. But you know what? We don't always bring all that stuff out all at once. So what's going on with your cards this week then? Well, for your spiritual advice, we do have the card of Freyr, which is all about focusing on, wealth, abundance, happiness, all of those kinds of things. And Freyr is talking a little bit more about how do we get things to start producing that on their own. It's kind of, how do we start getting our security, whether it's our finances or our most valuable resources, however you define them, to start generating and proliferating and populating more of their own wealth, to start growing on their own, becoming more self-sufficient, so we can trust that they will always be there. The Freyr card can talk about a need to pay attention to where certain things can be left to germinate on their own to do better, or possibly where we need to start making something a regular priority because it will actually start to, again, generate funds or generate that contentment all on its own without constant ongoing interaction and tweaking. So there's going to be a lot of, I think, breakthroughs as far as the work thing goes. We seem to have a very work-heavy theme, just oracle and astrology alone. But pay attention where things can actually be left to succeed on their own. Sometimes we think we have to change everything, for people. And we really don't. It's just like, maybe it's just a rough couple of weeks. For your Earth sector, when it comes to your work and finances, we do have the Death card reversed. And the Death card reversed is kind of interesting because it's a need to pay attention to where there's a leftover issue that is going to come up this week, I think, for a lot of Scorpio people, whether it's a leftover financial issue, a leftover work issue, and it is something that should have been gone and done. This is something that doesn't need to come back and become a priority in the present. We may be correcting a bad mistake, or we may be having a situation where people are assuming that something needs to be redone that does not need to be redone. And it may be important to educate them on that just to save time, energy, and money. The Death card reverse can also indicate, for those of you who are currently looking for new work, a bit of a surprise. You may be finding out that you thought you weren't going to hear from a certain prospective employer again, but the truth is they were just waiting for some kind of additional submission that they either got or didn't tell you that they needed. But we can correct that as well. For your communications with air, when it comes to your friends, your relatives, the others in your life, we have the Empress reversed. And the Empress reversed is kind of a tricky card to get in this area because it does talk about somebody that we are close to kind of screwing up. You know, when we talk about the Empress reversed, this is somebody who might be, I guess you could say, you know, the Empress is her own worst enemy. I'll just put it that way. And in this situation, it may be a problem you can't solve, or maybe, you know, not to be all stern and everything, but it might not necessarily be something you should solve for them. You know, because the Empress reverse can indicate somebody who's, you know, she's gone and done it again. Okay, when you think about that kind of pattern with people, they've gone and done it again. The Empress reverse is sort of saying, pay attention to where this person is trying to find somebody to fix it with or for them, because they know they're going to do it again. This could be a situation with a friend and, you know, and a love relationship problem that they always seem to find themselves in, or a relative in a financial situation that they always find themselves in, or somebody in a health situation that they always find themselves in, or some kind of social issue that just always seems to happen. Now, when we get the Empress reverses, again, it's important to actually, you know, point out when this is a reality check for them, not for you. For your challenge this week with fire, we do have the Five of Pentacles upright. Okay, the Five of Pentacles, honestly, this is a very interesting card because it does talk a little, I mean, as far as the challenge is concerned, we can feel that lack. We can feel that sense of being alone, that sense of being stuck on our own and without. Now, with so many other positive energies going on, I would imagine this card is just basically saying, look, Scorpio, your challenge this week is knowing when to fold them as far as doing so much on your own. Alright, knowing when to actually ask for your own help. You know, I think that sometimes we think, you know, that people who ask, because a lot of people who ask for help can be troublemakers, that there aren't good people that ask for help, when it's really kind of, you know, there are more good people who ask for help than there are not. But we might feel like helping others has put a bad taste in our mouth, so we don't want to ask for help when we need it. This week, it may be wise to, you know, phone in a few things. Maybe, you know, or at least call out for backup. Phoning in doesn't sound right. But at least call for backup or leave things in other people's hands. Again, leaving things so that that can be taken care of by somebody who's not you. Okay? Just a thought. For your emotions with water and your romantic life, we do have the Hierophant card upright. And the Hierophant card, interestingly enough, for your love life, can actually be a really nice opportunity for you and a partner to start getting some time being almost guided on how to be closer together. You know, there may be some kind of opportunity for you and a crush, or you and a partner, to start setting more things in stone with, I guess you could say, the prospect of officialhood in your relationship. But also with the Hierophant card upright, we're also sort of setting new rules, new ground rules for a relationship. We're also focusing a lot more on deeply connecting on our values. Those of you who are single and looking may find yourselves attracting people with similar values, codes of ethics, and honor that you have, which can be a very nice relief. For those of you who are currently coupled, the Hierophant card upright can indicate that you and your partner are going to actually be getting more of an opportunity, sort of employing, you know, learning from other people's examples, so to speak, whether it's other couples' examples, among your friends in the neighborhood, whether it's how, things that you're trying with your kids, things that you're trying at home. There's another example out there for you guys to follow, to sort of incorporate into the way you handle your relationship and how things are going to be working there, and it will actually work for you too. So that is your horoscope. I hope you enjoyed it, Scorpio. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, if you ever want to get a session, you can always follow the links below or go to integrativemysticism.com.